Time seemed to be standing still, but not for watch fans. These days, watches are becoming quite popular. We're noticing even higher demand for watches in the market, breaking a decades-long trend and actually increasing in value. What's the next move for investors? Keep watching until the end of the video to find out. Welcome back to our channel. Make sure to like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell. Here are the top 5 investment watches that will go nuts in 2022. In an attempt to capitalize on the tremendous demand for the impossible-to-acquire Royal Oak, Audemars Piguet launched a completely new entry-level luxury watch to entice buyers into purchasing something that was readily available in stock. The code 11.59 was confusing and alarming, with prices starting at a shocking £27,500 and only offered in precious metals. Part sports watch, part dress watch, 41mm wide, but only 11mm thick. The code 11.59 and the cringy basis for its name turned off collectors. But that was back when a Royal Oak was still a possibility. It's not a sure thing, but it's also not a fairy tale. With a little more time, some of the unique design decisions that seemed so mysterious at launch, like the 8-sided case metal, are starting to make sense. Even the date window isn't as odd as it once was. From the intricately sculpted lugs to the double-curved crystal and its hall of mirrors-like optical trickery, it's at least the proper color. The watchmaker is attempting to write a new chapter in history by looking forward as well as backwards, which the code 11.59 delivers. It's an excellent move for would-be investors willing to gamble on the next big thing. To be fair, all Audemars Piguet would have to do to ensure investment success with the code 11.59 is launch a steel version for half the price. When it comes to traditional brands exploring new things, in 2015, Patek Philippe reminded everyone that it used to make pilot's watches. The 5524G pilot travel time confused observers, not only because of its placement in the restricted and traditional Calatrava collection, but also with just all of it. This was a 42mm Patek Philippe with mushroom-like crowns, shooting out in all directions, disguised as a fully working tool watch in solid white gold. If there's one thing we've realized, it's that bold and unique timepieces are the flavor that everyone wants. It's also shockingly handy with the caliber CH324 SC FUS, allowing you to not only keep track of time in another time zone, but determine as well if it's day or night there. It all fits together in a presentable and appealing package, bringing new life to an old Patek Philippe. The 5524G makes you wonder if it's the next big thing. Some are already experimenting with higher than RRP pricing. Plus, the speculations of discontinuation have undoubtedly helped. While the Vacheron Constantin 56 does not deviate from the pattern of the big three exploring something new, it does go entirely against the grain by being a proper, cheaper, and of course, entry-level model. The notion of spending less for a Vacheron Constantin than a Rolex Daytona has given many collectors doubts until they recall that the Daytona they recently got the call for is worth more than both combined. But we know that won't last forever. Unlike the code 11.59 and the 5524G, the 56 is aimed directly at mid-tier Rolex clients with 5 figures. By a significant margin, it undercuts the other 2 members of the watchmaking Holy Trinity. How is Vacheron Constantin actually achieving this? This is where things become heated. Instead of making the movement themselves, Vacheron Constantin chose to source it from group supplier Val Fleurier in an unusual decision. They chose to just finish it instead, and unlike the rest of the Vacheron Constantin collection, the finish is not submitted for the Geneva seal. None of them are innocent of outside sourcing movements. The most popular Royal Oak has a shell movement, and is the only company remaining that actually cares about the Geneva seal. The watch would just be a lot more expensive if those 2 concerns were solved. The 56's entire essence was created around the possibility of not having to deal with situations like waiting lists and more. But that was back in the day. The Overseas suffered the same fate as the Royal Oak and the Nautilus. The focus shifted to this lovely timepiece. It's only a matter of time, with market prices hanging around RRP. Enjoying this video so far? Don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell. Apart from their impossible scarcity, they have one thing in common: superficiality. Not in a bad way, though. The effort put into these watches is reflected in their appearance rather than their functionality, even if figuring out how they look took only a few hours. A Lange und Söhne German watchmaker, who didn't quite get the message that you don't have to try so hard anymore, thought that they could do better. They set out to create the Odysseus, a highly crafted luxury sports watch that does more than just tell time. It picked up a new movement, the caliber L155.1 Datamatic. which includes a dense platinum winding rotor that improves efficiency without hiding the movement. The bracelet features the most meticulously designed link-swapping mechanism we've seen so far, as well as a stunningly integrated clasp extension button. The true showstopper is the dial, which features the brand's popular big date double team, including the day and also the lack of hidden pushers. You might be curious to know how these are adjusted and if it's with some ridiculously complex crown setting, but it's not. Each of the crown guards acts as a hidden pusher, changing the day and date. The brand has been smart with the Odysseus by only offering it to trusted consumers with whom it has formed a relationship over time, which we admire. Of course, it's all about limiting supply and preserving residuals, but we'd prefer the actual connoisseurs who've stayed with the brand receive the call than some other random people looking for fast cash. As a result, the already high £20,000 price is beginning to inflate due to extremely limited supply, so you'll need to be fast. The actual wild card in this lineup is one that won't break any price records just yet, but appears to be set for a big moment in the near future. H. Moser Cie, the original 1828 name restored by the family in 2005, is perhaps the least well-known watchmaker in town. This may appear to be your typical cash grab, yet it has been done perfectly. This is especially competitive in terms of quality and in-house movement, and it has the potential to become a hit. In the past few years, we've seen a surge in interest of contemporary watchmakers in the making, with collectors flocking to the kinds of early F.P. Journe and Roger Dubuis, looking for something new and interesting. H. Moser is clearly living up to that. This is evident with the Pioneer Center Seconds, a high-end sports watch. For its £11,000 price tag, this watch offers a lot. The sculpted case, distinct hands and markers, and blue fumey dial all clearly identify this timepiece as an H. Moser, and it's as much about branding as it is about anything else. That gives us the impression that the watchmaker has a bright future ahead of it, but it's not all beautiful faces and no brains, because the caliber HMC 200 has been a hit thanks to the in-house manufacturing facility. It's a stunning work of engineering that tries to bait would-be Daytona owners once more. So why should an investor be interested in this watch? After everything has been used up, you have to work with what you have left. For the time being, H. Moser is the choice of a well-intentioned but financially rash enthusiast hoping to buy something phenomenal that they can enjoy for a long time. However, we don't think it will be long before they start receiving offers. They can't say no. Well, we just have to wait and see. Take note when it comes to investing in a watch. You'll have to do your own research and take your own chances, but don't lose sight of the reason why these timepieces truly exist. We want them, or maybe we're expected to. Remember not to lose track of things and to have some fun at the same time. Which of these watches will catch the investor's eye? Please let us know in the comments section below, and if you love the video, don't forget to give it a thumbs up. Thanks for watching.